My name is David Harrison Grice. Welcome to the Grice Report, your unfiltered daily voice for truth. At the end of tonight's show, please leave a comment. I would really love to engage with the audience in discussions regarding these topics, especially as some of these topics have been really hot button issues today and have been pressing on everybody's mind. So I would love your feedback and your input because you are the audience and we value you and your opinion matters to us. So let's dive right into tonight's show. As we know, the Texas Democrats, when they fled Texas, it sparked pretty much a revolution in this country regarding the Democrats. The Texas Democrats fled Texas to break quorum so that Texas Governor Greg Abbott could not pass his maps as requested by Trump. Now, what this did was it caused a revolution where it inspired pretty much the entire country. And Governor Gavin Newsom in California is actually going to be fighting to redistrict California to flip the 5 seats that he has in California to blue in revenge for the 5 seats that Abbott is going to be shifting to red. Now, this is going to be a back and forth fight, and every Democratic governor needs to get in on this. So please, Governor Kathy Hochul, get out there, start the fight. But that's not really the story for tonight. The story that's been on everybody's mind today is Representative Nicole Collier. She has been locked in the Capitol building in Texas now going over 24 hours. So what happened was, as you know, they had to eventually go home. So they went home to Texas to take care of their constituency. And in order to leave the Capitol building, the Texas GOP made them sign a document. And this document basically said, hey, we agreed to a 24/7 security team and escort to make sure that we don't leave Texas again. And Representative Nicole Collier was just like, hell no.
Order? I was like, hell no.
And that's in her own words. In her own words, hell no. She refused to go along with this fascist nightmare that's been implemented by the Texas GOP. And she is still there. And you know what? Beyond that, she has inspired the other Texas Democrats, thankfully, finally, to stand up and join the fight. And now they are going to the Capitol to stay with her to protest all of this. The childish behavior, the fascist nightmare, the redistricting, all of it. And they should. They should speak up and fight for their constituency. So if you like what you're hearing tonight, please remember to like, subscribe. And I have an email address down here, thegricereport@gmail.com. Again, that's thegricereport@gmail.com. We're looking for tips, stories, leads. If you want to tell your story, if you want us to tell your story or your interactions at the music festivals with the ICE Gestapo, with anything going on, please let us know. We are happy to tell your story and work with you on that and make sure it's told in your voice. Next segment of tonight's show, and this is a big one, a very, very, very big one. Because as you know, on this show, we have a saying, release the files, just do it. Well, they're finally going to release them. Just, we don't think it's going to be what we hoped. So the House Oversight Committee, chaired by James Comer, they subpoenaed the Department of Justice to actually have access to the Epstein files. Now, they're not intending on releasing all of the files or a complete file. They're going to be heavily redacted, and they're only going to be releasing parts of the files according to the articles that I've read. This is a very, very important story, and it's still developing. Now, I would just like to note, I am 100% in favor of redacting the names of the victims, especially those that were under 18, but every single victim involved all the way through. No victim deserves to be exposed and have their lives destroyed like that. However, all the perpetrators on all sides, on every level, anyone who abetted in this horrible nightmare, they should be exposed and their names should be out there. People should know they're guilty and the public has a right to this information. Last story of the night, and this is disturbing because as a special educator from New York City, who graduated with a master's degree in special education from Hunter College, I feel that I have some insight into the world of education and what it takes to be a teacher. I also understand that sometimes being a teacher doesn't necessarily align with the world that Mad King wannabe Donald Trump wants to instill in America. Sometimes it means teaching evolution. Sometimes it means teaching climate change. Sometimes it means teaching about fascism and teaching that this administration is doing the wrong thing. It depends on what kind of class you're teaching, and it depends on what grade as well. However, Ryan Walters, the superintendent of the Oklahoma Public School District, has said that he's going to create a test a test that's going to basically test for what he calls radical leftist ideology in teachers coming from California and New York City. Now, I got a message for you, bud. There is no teacher in New York City or California that's going to leave their jobs here or there to go work in Oklahoma. I'm sorry, it's just not going to happen. Whatever you're doing right now is just grandstanding. The percentage of teachers that transition from a California school or a New York school, which are some of the best schools in the country, to your districts, it must be really small. I would love to see you produce those numbers. Let's see it. Let's see how many teachers have actually done that and if your stuff is called for. So thank you for watching tonight's episode. This is the Grice Report with David Harrison Grice signing off.